friends, welcome back to another tournament report. So this is from the Northern Kings GT back in June 21st, 22nd, you can see. So Northern Kings is hands down my favourite GT in the UK. So super excited to go to Northern Kings every single year. It's the only GT, apart from the Bull Run, which is currently dead, we're going to have a venue, that features hobby scores. Obviously I like that because I can't play Kings of War very well, but I can paint. So with deep sadness, this is the last Northern Kings GT. They're not doing it anymore because they can't be arsed. Yeah, they've lost the vibe. Something like that. Anyway, either that or Nick's got a girlfriend. I don't know which one it is. But they're not doing it anymore after this, which is very sad because I do look forward to it. You know, I don't get to go to Clash. Obviously, Clash is the best GT in the UK. He says, as the runner of Clash, or lead TO. However, Northern Kings is my Clash of Kings, right? So it's the one that I love to go to the most. So there is no Northern Kings after this year. Certainly, there's not one for 2026. Maybe I'll run one. I don't know. So I trudged up to Osset. I said trudged. I drove, and we cracked on. So this is also the last GT that I have decided to take Twilight Kin to because I'm bored. It's almost as if I have ADHD. So this is my list. So those of you who've followed my Orktown GT list will recognise most of this list. It's very similar because I like it. It works. It's good. This is obviously less points. I don't have orcs in it anymore. It's 2,300. So it's still a 2x2 list. By which I mean I have 2 mutants. One with Chalice of Wrath, one with Dwarven Ale. I have 2 Phantoms. I have 2 Impalers. I have 2 Terrors. And I have 2 Crones, one of which is Lethiel, Bleakheart. Okay, so a nice selection of spells. So the spells that I really like taking, I think they work incredibly well with Twilight Kin, are Hex and Weakness on a Crone. Obviously they damage, no piercing anymore. Boo. And then Lethiel gets Banechant 3, Enthrall 7 and Windblast 7, both of which damage. And she has this incredible aura of stealthy. She can give elite to anyone within, as long as the target's within 12 inches on their spells. It's just with objective-based scenarios, Enthrall and Windblast, incredibly valuable, as you'll see in this tournament. So I took the same, Mind Screech with Planar Apparition upgrade. So this is the heal Mind Screech that I took to Orktown. I also took the Soulbane, and this time I gave him, because I had 10 points left over, the Orb of Towering Presence. And spoiler warning, it doesn't come up in any game in this tournament, but I did try. The only addition then, so I looked at what I had, and I tried to. You can't fit in another. What I would love to have fitted in was another individual. I looked at the assassin, which I really like in Twilight Kin. I think the assassin's super. With this particular list, it doesn't fit. So I took a troop of Reapers, and I gave him Fire Roll for 5 points, which I think is fun, but I do tend to not use it at all. So they're pretty good. Their 15 attacks is very tasty on 3s with Crush 1. They're stealthy. Their nerve is very poor. And their speed is just alright. And their defense is just alright. Right? They're just an alright unit. They are significantly worse than the, what are they called? The ones with the Leaper rule. Tormentors that you get in Night Stalkers. You can't take Tormentors in Twilight Kin, otherwise I would have. Because the Leaper rule with speed 7 just makes them so much better. It's 13 unit strength, it's 13 units, 22 unit strength, which is on the low end, I would say, but it's a very versatile, very durable list. These double Impalers with their big shield and double terror, you stick those together, it's so hard to kill them. In the meantime, your Reapers and your Mutants are positioning for the kill. So it's very much a grind and hit list. So my first game was a challenge against the inimitable legend that is a guy called George. You won't know him, potentially. George is a long-time player at Kings of War in the UK, former chair of our Masters Committee, an all-round absolute legend. And he and I have an ongoing challenge. I'll talk about that in a bit. So he's playing Basileans because He likes easy mode. So this is his Basilean list. He has 2 regiments of men-at-arms spearmen. Not convinced. Anyway, 2 hordes of Elohi. Now he's given them both Celestial Fury. They're both defense 4. And then he's given 1 Blood of the Old King and the other Brew of Sharpness, making them absolute beat sticks. Anything that these guys touch will die. That's their function. And that's what you'd expect for 300 odd points each, right? 300 points each. That's obscene. But very, very strong units. Extremely hard hitting. A horde of Ogre Palace Guard with a Chalice of Wrath. Not convinced ever by Ogre Palace Guard in Basileans, personally. I think they're very, very expensive for what you get. Now, they are good, don't get me wrong. If a horde of Ogre Palace Guard go into you with their Crush 2, their Brutal, Iron Resolve, Fury with Chalice of Wrath is especially good. Melee 3, 18, they're very, very good. I just don't see them in a Basilean list. Just me. Troop of Gur Panthers, good. Phoenix, good. You know what's better than 1 Phoenix? 3 Phoenixes. Or even 2 Phoenixes. And then a rare, a deep cut of the Basilean list. Tolivar the Seer. Have you ever seen a list with Tolivar the Seer in it? Me either. So Tolivar's, he's really not bad, you know. He's somewhat pricey at 150 points, but, he's Basilean. But he's got Banechant 3, which is good. Bastion 2 and 5 all 10. So the specifics here, so his special rules, Celestial Providence means that he gets to cast either of his other spells after casting Bastion. Celestial Visions gives him an additional, easy for you to say, an additional 6 inches on most of his spells. Bastion really is the key to his loadout here. It's a fantastic spell, gives Rally and +1 nerve to any unit it casts on. Banechant 3, very, very good. So I think Tolivar, actually pretty great. Controversial. He's got an Elohi with Blade of Slashing. He's got Julius, the Mandatory, who's just ridiculous. I mean, he is 315 points, but he is ridiculous. And here's another 3. He's defense 6. He's dash 16. He's got 8 attacks. He's got Fireball 8. He has all the rules, including Dread and Iron Resolve, of course, like everything's got Iron Resolve. He gives Elite to anything else in combat with him. It's just, he's just great. Unkillable Julius. An Ogre Palace Guard Captain with the Trickster's Wand for Hex, which George uses very well. And then the worst character in the Basilean list, Nias Celestus. I think Nias is terrible. He just dies. He's defense 5, he's speed 9. He's just not as good as Elohi. Why not pay 25 points more? It's just my opinion. Anyway, so 12 unit strength. 12 units. I did it again. 12 units and 22 unit strength. So we're comparable in units and comparable in unit strength. Now, George and I. So a while ago, George and I, we're both on the Masters Committee. He's former chair, I'm current chair. He challenged me at the last Clash of Kings saying, I will play you. And I jokingly said, shall we have a trophy? And he said, absolutely. And I printed the world's largest trophy. It's huge. Which we called the Kirke Hildrew Cup, because that is our surnames. And we played at Clash of Kings where he beat me and he took it home to his wife's intense displeasure. So this is the cup. See how big it is. It's nearly 2 foot tall. It's ridiculously large. And as you can see, there is G Kirke Clash of Kings 2024. So Ed Herzig there in the background. So we are playing not just for honour, but we're playing for the cup. Way more important than any... it is, by the way, the Goblet of Fire from Harry Potter. There you go. Nice and close up. So this is the table we're playing on Nick's beautiful terrain. So this table has 3 forests. Here's one, here's another, here's another. We have 2 bits of blocking terrain, these lovely chunky ones here. We have 3 hills. Here, here, and here. And then we have 5 pieces of difficult terrain. So no walls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. people from Singapore will be crying about the amount of terrain in this. How many got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pieces of terrain. Some of them are very small. Anyway, it's a very terrain heavy board. I love it. It's great. And we are playing Plunder. I did not put the thing that I normally put saying what scenario it is, but it's Plunder, which is where you have 5 tokens across the center, and then you take turns selecting which ones will be worth 2. So George won sides and chose the first token. I believe he chose this one, and then I chose this one because I very much wanted to play here. Right, so these Twilight Kin, the Twilight Kin that I play, they're very defensive. What I need is a piece of terrain to hang off. So because George chose that side, I needed to hang off this piece of terrain, right? Which means I want to be here and here, which means I'm going to be fighting over these ones. George can have these ones, I don't care. That's got a great hill here. Look at that for charging off or shooting off or whatever. Big fan of that. So we deploy thusly. So I very much deny flank. Deny flank is how I play this army. Full stop. It's the only way I know how to play this force. And you can see I've got this absolutely indomitable center here. So double impalers with big shield, double terrors with ensnare, and regen. Really, really powerful. I've got both crones behind here, both the Lethal and the other crone, because what they want to do is spend their life on this hill, kind of shooting at people. On the other side, I've got a very, very fast flank. So I can't remember how we kind of went about this, but I normally go one phantom one end, one phantom the other end, and George put I believe now this is gonna be difficult, isn't it? Which one is Julius and which one's an Elohi? I believe this is Julius and this is an Elohi. Anyway, so he's got them down that side, which I was pretty happy with because they're going to take a little while. I mean, they are speed 10, but a little while to come around. He's got very few units, right? So he's got his Ger Panthers and 1 Elohi unit. These are men at arms. And Nias is loitering here, I believe, behind the woods. Against that, I've just got this very, very punchy set of units. I've got double mutants. This is the one with Chalice of Wrath. I've got my Soulbane for Inspiring and Dread. I've got a Phantom for blocking. I've got my Reapers in the back. I win this. Right, I think I just win this side. Here's his Palace Guard in the center. Then he's got his other Elohi here. His Phoenix, his Men at Arms, right? And then Julius. And this is the guy with the just one. So I'm feeling very happy about this because I think I can win this side quite handily. And then we're just fighting over the center. So here's I think Julius might be this one. Yeah. Okay. Very nice little army, despite being Sigmarines. There are Mantic figures in there, particularly like and shout out to George. Well, triple celebrity shoe. Sorry. I really like his Ger Panthers. He spent quite a lot of time painting, and they are very clearly from Thundercats, right? They're just beautifully painted, and they're so gorgeous. Really big fan of those. Here's my guys. Ah, I miss playing them now. Anyway, and there's Mike. Hi, Mike. How you doing, Mike Young there? Not sure I did that. I win turn 1. I take it. Against George's army, if you want to win, it's so fast, right? You have to take turn 1. You have to position yourself ready to take him. So I push forward super hard. I position my mutants so there's, he can't reach them at all with his Elohi. So that's the principle. This blocking with my phantoms here, although I'm within range, none of these units are chargeable by the Elohi. They just don't fit. Because of my positioning, I was quite pleased with this triple unit placement. I've got some Reapers here. They can go this way or that way, it doesn't matter. And then if he wants to charge my Phantoms, he can. And these guys are so I've tried to position again, so he's much faster than me for once, right? Normally mutants are faster, but everything in his army is faster. I've tried to position so nothing is a clean charge. There's this one, you look at the angles. I'm trying to learn, guys. Anyway. And I've got so Lethiel's not within range to Windblast or anything. I can get a Hex off, but I don't know if I can get it or not. And I probably try to get a Mind Fog off somewhere, which I don't get either. Over here, so I don't want to play with a Elohi, so I simply move my Phantoms like this. And we go into turn 2. So yeah, that's just showing positioning. And then into George's turn 1, so he whacks a Hex off onto, I believe, onto my Planar Apparition. And moves up super hard. So, questionable choices. So he keeps everything kind of quite sanguine over here. But he takes Julius and the Gerpanthers into my Phantoms. So Julius is going to be hindered. He's running out of this wood. And Gerpanthers, well, the Gerpanthers only got 6 attacks, right? Over here, a little braver. So Julius doesn't really care about Phantoms. He comes down and turns this way. He says, flank me if you like. I'm defense 6. And he's got his Elohi over here, who's picked up a token. Brave boy. So yeah, Julius absolutely, fluffs it. Which is what you get for being the worst miniature Mantic ever produced. 4 wounds from both of them onto my Phantoms. It's really bad. I mean, that's horrifically bad. Julius is getting... Nias... Sorry, did I say Julius? Nias. I said he wasn't good. And this is justifying me. Nias is getting flanked. He's super getting flanked. So into my turn 2. So I move thusly. So, of course, Elohi famously are height 3. So this Elohi cannot see my Phantoms. Phantoms are positioning for a rear charge onto Julius if he comes this way. I think a rear is better than a flank. I've then moved my Impalers up, so my Indomitable line is really threatened by Julius in the flank. However, I have this handy tiny wood, which is really, saving my ass right now. And then I've moved up. I've just said, you know what? I don't want to be charged by Palace Guard, but if you want to charge me with Elohi, crack on. Charge any of these characters. I really don't mind. I've also turned my Mind Screech here, so you can see if Julius, he quite feasibly could jump down here. He's going to get charged by a Mind Screech. I might do a wound, especially with a Bane charge from Lethiel. In which case I'll lock you down and then kill you. And then over here, so I debated going for a flank with the Soulbane onto Nias, but I decided the front from Mutants was actually way better than the flank from the Soulbane. I've kept these Reapers in the back line just in case things, and by things I mean Elohi trying to jump in. Counter charge from the Phantoms onto these Gerpanthers and Mutants onto Nias. Pleased with that. These Elohi, you might think, oh no, you missed a flank. Nope, they don't fit here, so there's no flank there. Whoa. That is a Wind Blast. So I Wind Blast these guys. They're just topping on the hill. So Lethiel looks at them and goes, ha ha, and Wind Blasts them off the hill. And then I really fluff it. So, well, maybe not fluff it, but the Phantoms kill the Gerpanthers, which is pretty great. And then my Mutants only do 10 wounds to Nias, and I believe I waver him. So it's not... is it 20 attacks on 3s? And then 3s. Guys, I can't do the maths. Let's say so 16 hits. It's not unprecedented to do 10. He's only 50 MT, but I missed the nerve anyway. Whatever. Into George's turn. So Nias is in a particularly bad position, and this whole flank now is looking very shaky, right? There's nothing fast left here to come and help. Just these Elohi, and we've got Mutants and Reapers in the back, so it's not looking great there. These guys are being pushed back. They're a little far, and Julius a little bit far. So at this point, I was cautiously feeling quite positive. Let's see if that positivity is rewarded. So a Hex goes back on to Lethiel, who's been naughty. Julius doesn't care about a rear from Phantoms, which is okay. He just jumps into the wood and says, go on then, rear charge me, bad boy. Very ballsy because he's got an Elohi ready to help him. You see here that George has been very cautious with his Elohi, which is kind of sensible because Impalers aren't, they're not shabby in combat. They would be hindered here though, so I'm not sure he needs to be this cautious. He's measured 13s just in case for the maximum wild charge they could get, and he's pushed up with these guys here. I think really he's thinking about these 4 tokens. Not a bad strategy, right? As long as he can win this one, which is what we're all fighting over, then he wins. So this is the Elohi. The Elohi decided to charge Phantoms. This is a terrible choice. I'm not going to lie, this is the worst possible choice, I think, out of here. Personally, if it was me, I would have backed Julius up and then flown the Elohi in to kill the mutants. I would have died, but I would have taken out a far more powerful unit than unit of Phantoms. He does kill the Phantoms, because why would he not? They're absolute, Death Star unit, these Elohi. I don't know if these guys are hitting on 2 or whatever they are. Oh, celebrity knees. George is look what a lovely pair of knees you've got, George. All of that's going to die next turn. Let's predict into my turn 3. So, here we are. I'm still not feeling bad about the situation. I think I have enough. Right, I have enough here to deal with this. In my opinion. That's how I felt at the time. So, having brought forward, it's time for the hammer to fall, right? So, Soulbane into the flank of Nias. Mutants into the front of Elohi. The Reapers say, well, we're not needed here. So they come this way. Everyone else jumps. So the plane apparitions jumped up on the hill. I believe he's going to heal here, probably. We grab a token on the way, because that's the important thing. This is the token that wins the game, don't forget. So we do multiple charges. So I think we go Impaler and Terror into the Spearman, because the Spearman they're not gonna tolerate this. 38 attacks is horrific. Less convincing against Palace Guard. So over here, Palace Guard, we've got the Terror is not very good against them, and the Impalers. I'm not sure if we're hindered or not here, but the Palace Guard probably survive this. To hold off the Elohi, which is the most important unit here, because they'll be able to do all sorts of unpleasant things. We send my Phantoms. We ignore Julius. We're like, crack on, Julie boy. Whatever I kill here, you can come over, but I'm going to follow up, right? And these guys just aren't really important right now. So, it looks like I did a wound. Maybe just the one. I Bane Chant onto these guys to try and get those Palace Guard. Nias dies very, very painfully, and the Elohi died. Not unexpected. Mutants are, equally as beat sticky as his Elohi. So now we're in a very strong position. I've got a lot of range to make up, but I'm pretty happy with where I am on this side. And then unprecedented. I absolutely smash it. Just like I roll like an absolute demon. This is very good. At this point, I'm going to say game's over, right? I have smashed it. So this was not unexpected. We kill it. We take the 2-point token. The Spearmen die. But then I roll really, really well against these Palace Guard. Particularly, I think the Bane Chant really helped. And we kill them as well. There's Tollivar. He's fallen over with a shock. There's the Palace Guard captain. The Elohi have taken a wound. It's all bad, guys. We do have Julius to deal with. So we turn thusly. So everyone's turned. This is probably not great positioning, but I just didn't want Julius to flank charge Terror. So we all turn this way. Julius is very scary. He could kill these guys. Let's see. That is... Oh, yeah. I do a wound. That's the wound. Into George's turn 3. So... It's looking a little bit scary. The Elohi, he drops his token and decides to actually come and play the game for a change. And then Julius says, well, you know what? Of these targets, so of the targets that you've given me, so I've given him 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 targets. The best target is the planar apparition, because if I kill you, I'm just out 12 and nothing else can see me. So, good choice, I think, in a poor position. Spearman turn. The Phoenix comes over to block line of sight. He's very large, so we can't see anything. Very good choice. Counter charge from those Lohi on the hill. Palace Guard comes into the flank of these. Palace Guard Captain, rather, comes into the flank of my Impalers. Tolivar runs away like a total coward. And yeah, Julius does Julius stuff. He kills my planar apparition in one. In one. What the hell? He's 13-15 in the front. You only got 6 attacks. Jesus. So, well done, Julius. That's why everyone hates him. Turn 4. This is how we look. I'm still feeling good. Just need to get some points. Oh, he kills my phantoms as well. So he forgot to roll them. We're like, I think you need to do that combat. And he does. Murder ensues. So, this is the charges that they take. Let's look from here. So, who charges what? So we charge here with the Impalers. Have to. Nothing else we can do. That frees up. So then, oh, where does this guy go? Oh, that's fun. So this terror turns, walks. Oh yeah, because these guys are on the hill, aren't they? So they're massive. So I can see you. No, they're not. They're height 6. I think this guy just walks forward and turns, right, to give the line of sight here. So this terror then flanks these Elohi. Or front charges them because they're turned, didn't they? If you turn like this. Means that these Impalers can then flank charge this Ogre Palace Guard dude. Right, and then Letheo comes here. I think she's hoping to wind blast him off the hill. He Reapers come really far forward to make sure you can't do anything about this again. We've got Soulbane in the back line. We've got double mutants over here. Feeling good. Having fun. So yeah. We kill the Palace Guard Captain, which is not unexpected in the flank. We also kill the Phoenix, which is great. It always feels good to kill a Phoenix because they're such knobs. I do allow a rear charge here from Julius because I can just kill you here. And this unit has got all the tokens. I'm unit strength 3 and I've got 3 points of tokens. Suck it. George's turn 4. I'll give him a flank, not a rear. I'm not that generous. So he takes the flank. The Elohi comes into the flank here. I don't know how many wounds it is. It looks like hardly any wounds. Absolute garbage. Over here. Probably. I resolved it. So the Terror dies. Tolivar's still hanging around. Loser. Julius doesn't repeat his spectacular turn last turn. Oh, he does. Oh, well, okay. Well, I'll take that. I'll take that back. He does. So Julius continues his spectacular reign of terror by murdering my Impalers, which is rude. And then this would be at the end. There was turn. Oh, I haven't taken photos of any turn markers, which is very poor of me. How unlike me to take poor quality rap reports. So this then is in my turn. We charge the Elohi with our Impalers. We charge the Soulbane into these other Elohi. The Terror picks up the 2 tokens, which, by the way, is illegal. Is that Letheo charging? I don't know what's going on there. So we managed to kill the Elohi with my Soulbane, which is bravo, well done. And we kill the Elohi with our Impalers, which is even more well done. It's now looking rather desperate for George. Oh, there you go, turn markers. Well, hey, we're into his turn 5. Where's Julius gone? Julius, where are you? Oh, he's run away. He's going for a token. Okay, Julius has legged it like the coward he is. So these spearmen have picked up their 2-point token here. Julius is running off for this 1-point token here. At this point, it is just anything you can do. You can see some nice positioning. So he's turned and run. So my Impalers can't quite see these spearmen, which is vexing in the extreme. My Reapers are desperate to get some Julius blood. No chance. So the Terror drops 1 token. mutants come and pick it up. So we're now legal again. It's all good because the terror is unit strength 2. And we try to move for my turn 6 to positions where he simply cannot escape in case there's a turn 7. Impalers are here, covering here. Soulbane's here, covering here. It's looking pretty good. What was that? Is that me killing Julius? Surely some mistake. Have I charged you? Why? What? Do I charge Julius? Oh, I do charge Julius. Ho mama! Look at that beautiful line of sight, and he's clearly within 16. That's a rear charge from the Soulbane onto Julius. Wow, missed that. Forgot that. Clearly the wings are keeping him away, so I'm not just covering him, I'm charging him. And then I roll an 8 and a 7 for nerve. And I smash him up. Take that, Julie boy. So Julie dies to a Soulbane in the rear. The Spearman simply turned to face my Impalers to say, alright then, we admit you might kill us. And is that the end of the game? Is the end of the game! Look at that beautiful glory on my face. I win the cup. So yeah, at the end of the game I get, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2 on that victory. So yeah, very happy. I'm a happy man. There's Jake behind me. Yeah, great game. Really enjoyable. Won the cup. George is a legend. Big fan of him. Mainly, I think he was deliberately losing, so the cup was removed from his house before he had a baby. That's happening. So yeah, that was game 1, Northern Kings. And that propelled me way too high up the tables. So I faced the current UK master, Radoslaw Bralowski, in game 2 with his Abyssal Dwarfs. So I'll come back soon for that game. Hope you enjoyed this one. Tell me what I did wrong. Tell me what I did right. Tell me how I cheated. And we'll see you next time on Death by Dragons. Bye-bye.